Ahmaud Arbery was not innocent. He was not jogging. Arbery was caught on camera committing a crime. The men were justified. Hello everyone, this is Mr. Obvious, and today on AGC.com, as well as a bunch of research that I've done into the Ahmaud Arbery case. We're going to take a look at all of the research that I've done in the Ahmaud Arbery case. Now, it's going to be shocking because the things I have to show you paint a completely different picture than the national outrage, than all of the people in the media yelling that an unarmed, innocent man was shot, by two hateful bigots. But that's not the story at all. What I'm about to show you is going to completely expose what really happened that fateful day. So the first piece of evidence we're going to look at is a piece of video evidence showing Ahmaud Arbery trespassing on someone's house. It was a house that was being constructed. Now, why do people usually trespass on construction sites? Well, to steal copper, of course, and other valuables, including power tools. Construction houses are one of the prime suspects for burglary. But before I do the detective work that this case requires, if you're new to the channel, remember to comment, like, and subscribe. And smack that bell button for notification for new content. Now we have the video, and I'm using a version that was uploaded to YouTube that's slowed down because the version on that website was sped up. Here it says, the GBI is reviewing this video in the investigation of the death of Ahmaud Arbery. The video appears to track a 911 caller's statements that a man had entered a construction site on Satilla Drive in the minutes before the fatal shooting. The video appears to show a man believed to be Arbery walking around a home under construction, just minutes before he was shot and killed. The timestamp appears to be an hour off. Now you can see Arbery and he's walking through the neighborhood. He's not jogging, he's walking. And then, yeah, you see him there, you see him right in the corner. He's walking, and then he turns, he looks at the house that's under construction, it has an open door, and then you see him turn to the house in a fast pace. Now here's the interesting thing. So a little bit later you can see him go from the garage through the front door. I want to make something clear, folks. Ahmaud Arbery, first of all, can be seen on camera. White t-shirt, black male. He was not jogging. He was walking. And then he goes into this construction site and trespasses. Now, you can say whatever you want. You can say that he wasn't looking to steal stuff. He wasn't looking to burglarize. He wasn't even looking to trespass. I saw someone say on Twitter that he saw the door open, so he went inside to check if someone was there, to let them know, which is a bad theory for two reasons. He was inside the house for about 4 to 5 minutes. What was he doing in that 4 to 5 minutes? If you're gonna go inside a house to warn someone that, oh, your front door's open, first of all, it's not your property, so you're trespassing. Second of all, it wouldn't take you 5 minutes. What would take you 5 minutes? Well, I can say a few possibilities. 1, perhaps he was trying to burglarize the home, steal power tools, steal copper. These are things that can and do happen, because money. 2, it is possible, and I'm not going to say this with 100% certainty, but was blood work ever done on Arbery? Because his behavior seems a little erratic. Maybe he went inside the house to consume an illicit substance. Without blood work, without a test, there's really no way to ever know. It's but one of the possibilities. And 3, the unknown factor. Perhaps we don't know why Arbery entered this house. Dead men tell no tales. But what we do know is that Arbery was somewhere he wasn't supposed to be, and doing something he wasn't supposed to be doing. Now, I've looked up Georgia's laws. Georgia Code, Title 16, Crimes and Offenses, Section 16-7-21. A person who commits the offense of criminal trespass shall be guilty of a misdemeanor. Then we have Georgia Code, Title 16, Crimes and Offenses, Chapter 7, Damage and Intrusion upon Property. Article 1, Burglary. Section 16-7-1, Burglary. A person who commits the offense of burglary in the first degree shall be guilty of a felony, and upon conviction thereof shall be punished by imprisonment for not less than 1 nor more than 20 years. The next piece of evidence we're going to take a look at is the 911 call, because someone witnessed Ahmaud Arbery trespassing and possibly burglarizing a construction site in a neighborhood. An unidentified figure enters the upper left frame. It's unclear what he's doing, but police reports say a neighbor called 911 about this time to report someone who had entered the house under construction, noting it was open. So again, Arbery was trespassing, possibly burglarizing, in a place where he shouldn't have been, and a concerned citizen who saw him do it called 911. Now, I have the audio of that 911 call.
Glen Brunswick Communications, Operator Smith.
Hey, I'm about to steal a door.
Okay.
There's break-ins out here. There's a guy in the house right now. Is the house under construction?
Okay, do you have your address or that house's address?
Right at, Priscilla Drive.
And you said someone's breaking into it right now?
No, it's all open. It's under construction. And he's running right now. There he goes right now.
Okay, what is he doing?
He's running down the street.
Okay. Okay, that's fine. I'll get them out there. I just need to know what he was doing wrong.
Now, a lot of articles are quoting this. I need to know what he was doing wrong, implying that he wasn't doing anything wrong. He was on a property, trespassing, 1, possibly burglarizing, 2, so a misdemeanor and a felony. That's what he was doing wrong. Now, what I find really interesting is a part that all of the media leaves out. Listen to the audio clip that comes next.
Was he just on the premises and not supposed to be?
Stuff on it, and he's been caught on the camera a bunch before at night. It's kind of an ongoing thing out here.
Ahmaud Arbery had been caught on camera burglarizing, trespassing in the neighborhood more than once. Even if he was just trespassing, the more you commit the same crime, generally speaking, the worse the charge gets. Either way, people in the neighborhood had a reason to be concerned. They kept seeing the same man trespassing and possibly stealing. Of course you would call 911. Of course you would want to get to the bottom of it, because no one is safe. You don't know who this person is. Arbery was somewhere he shouldn't have been. Now, there's people who might pose the question, are we sure that this is the same man? Well, listen to what comes next.
The man that's building the house has got heart issues. I think he's not going to finish it.
Okay, that's fine. And you said it was a male in a black t-shirt?
A white t-shirt. Black guy, white t-shirt. And he's done running backwards in the neighborhood.
So listen to the description of Ahmaud Arbery that's given. A black male in a white t-shirt. This is the original footage of Ahmaud Arbery, the one that's been circulating on social media and causing outrage, even though I believe this video vindicates Travis and the other man from the shooting. Because with all of this evidence, I'm beginning to paint a very clear picture of what happened. So here in this frame, you see Ahmaud Arbery, and what do you know? He's wearing a white t-shirt. It's the same guy. So what exactly is the full story? Well, my conclusion is this. Ahmaud Arbery was committing criminal offenses in this neighborhood repeatedly, and the two men who stopped him had probable cause, reasonable suspicion, and a legal right to commit a citizen's arrest. First of all, Georgia has open carry. So there's people who say that, well, it's all their fault because they had a gun and it was out in the open. But in Georgia, you're allowed to do so. Georgia allows any person to openly carry a handgun if that person has a weapons carry license. Georgia also allows any person to openly carry a long gun. In fact, if a long gun is carried while it is loaded, it must be carried openly. So they had a right to have weapons. Another thing they had the right to do was do a criminal's arrest. Now, there's people who've been saying, well, just because you're allowed to do a criminal's arrest in Georgia, that's only if you see the crime. And in this case, they didn't see a crime. That's not what the Georgia Code Title 17, Criminal Procedure Chapter 4, Arrest of Persons, Article 4, Arrest by Private Persons, Section 17-4-60, Grounds for Arrest says. What it says is this: a private person may arrest an offender if the offense is committed in his presence or within his immediate knowledge. In other words, if you know that someone has committed a crime in your vicinity, you have a right to commit a citizen's arrest. The media keeps leaving out this part. And I hope you're beginning to see this tale of lies that the media is painting. The woke left is making the Ahmaud Arbery case a racial issue. 2 evil white men gunned down an unarmed, innocent African-American male who did nothing wrong and broke no laws. Now, some people are also saying that Ahmaud Arbery may have also been unarmed, but that he dropped a weapon, a hammer, which can sort of be seen in the original footage. It's kind of blurry, but you do see an object dropped in the middle of the road from the direction that Ahmaud Arbery was running from. Now let's continue to read this. If the offense is a felony, burglary is a felony. No, I'm not sure about repeatedly trespassing, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was a felony after so many offenses, and the offender is escaping or attempting to escape. A private person may arrest him upon reasonable and probable grounds of suspicion. Open and shut case, my friends. Everything in this illegal writing says that Travis and his friend are innocent, justified, and should not be charged. They should be acquitted. And any lawyer worth his salt is going to look at all of this and clear him. This reminds me a lot of the Zimmerman case. Zimmerman got off with far less evidence, far less legal backing, and just as much media attention. Imagine the shitstorm this is going to cause when these 2 men get acquitted and released. Not only did they have immediate knowledge of the crime, not only was this person attempting to escape, this law literally says they had a right. For those who criticize them for having open carry weapons, Georgia allows open carry. For those of you saying it wasn't a felony, burglary is a felony. Repeat trespassing, it's semantics. Now, the most important part of this case is the fact that Ahmaud Arbery ended up dying. Now, let's take a quick look at the original footage. I'm not going to show you the graphic parts, just the part where they're having a struggle. First thing to note, a figure emerges from the construction home and runs down Satilla Drive. So, this is when Ahmaud Arbery exits the house, and you can see him begin to run off at breakneck speed. He's running away. And he's running very fast, almost as if he's done a crime in the premises and he's trying to escape, knowing that he did something wrong. Now here you can see the resulting footage. He's running down the street towards the truck. This is when he proceeds to run around the truck and attack Travis. He attacks him. He punches him at one point, and he tries to take away his weapon. There's the punch, at which point Travis ends up pulling the trigger and taking Ahmaud Arbery's life. And I think I finally figured it out, folks. The reason that this footage exists is because Ahmaud Arbery was caught on camera committing a crime, trespassing on property, stealing things, most likely. And the men who called 911 probably followed him because they knew he was trying to escape. These men were alerted to the crime, and they proceeded to try and stop this man for questioning. Now, they have a legal right to do so, and that's when Ahmaud Arbery attacked them and ended up getting shot. Now, people are trying to defend these actions. Everyone wants this to be a racial issue. Everyone wants to justify criminal actions, and not on the hands of Travis. Let's take a look at a tweet. This is from WSB TV. Breaking. GBI reviewing additional footage in the Ahmaud Arbery case. And you have a bunch of people justifying these actions. Justin True says, I can't even count how many homes and construction sites I've walked through. Didn't know death was a punishment for doing so. Lowly law student says, Yep, came here to say this. If it had been my little white nosy ass looking to see if they were installing hardwood floors, no one would have cared. If this is the kind of law student we have these days, no wonder law is so messed up. Betty says it's irrelevant if anyone entered the construction site, or even if Mr. Arbery did. These men had zero right to kill Mr. Arbery. Zero. Georgette says, is the penalty for robbery murder? I like how some of them give up on the idea that he wasn't burglarizing a house, but I'm going to focus on this. People say that there was no right for Travis and the other man to shoot Ahmaud Arbery. Well, according to Georgia law, they would be wrong. Georgia's self-defense laws. The right to defend ourselves against death or injury is one of the most basic legal protections that we have. The self-defense laws of every state allow citizens the right to use force to protect their lives, the lives of others, and sometimes property, without the fear of being punished for actions that are normally considered criminal. Stand your ground laws in Georgia. Georgia is one of the few states that have stand your ground laws. The basic idea behind these laws is that a person who is being threatened by another person's use of force does not have a duty to retreat or back down before he or she can legally use force against the attacker. In other words, if you fear for your life, let's say someone is trying to take away your weapon and possibly shoot and kill you, you have a right to defend your life. Now, what do we see on the footage? We see Ahmaud Arbery knowing that running away from a construction site, running away from the scene of a crime, running towards the truck, running towards Travis, trying to take his weapon, and possibly shoot him. I believe the stand your ground laws apply. Now, I want to talk about the jogging narrative. Everyone keeps saying, Ahmaud Arbery was simply jogging through the neighborhood before he was brutally murdered, or lynched, or whatever word people are using. But is that the case? Well, I believe I can explain that too. Arbery's family said he liked to jog in the area. One of the armed men who confronted Arbery that day later told police they pursued him because they thought he had been involved in earlier break-ins in the neighborhood, which is exactly what was said on 911. Repeated sightings of the same man. So why would Ahmaud Arbery's family insist that Ahmaud Arbery was simply a jogger when he can be seen on footage not jogging and trespassing and potentially robbing someone's house, and according to the 911 call, has done so multiple times? I believe I have a logical explanation that explains all of this. Ahmaud Arbery would tell his family that he was going for a jog and then go to neighborhoods trespassing and stealing from houses for money. People do a lot of things for money. Did you know that like 90% of crimes are committed because of money or in relation to money? Maybe his family truly believes deep down in their heart that Ahmaud Arbery, who can be seen on camera wearing boots, Timberland boots. You can't run in boots, dude. They're not for jogging. Was simply jogging through the neighborhood. But the most likely reality is that he told his family he was going out for a jog and then went out to commit crimes of some form. Now, he got called on by 911. He was seen acting shady. He was seen running. Not running like I'm going for a jog, running like I'm running away from a crime. And he attacked the men who tried to stop him. Now here's the horrible part about this story. The woke left, Democrats, and even the conservacucks have made this into a racial issue. Travis and the other man, the two men involved in stopping Ahmaud Arbery, have been arrested and charged and held without bail. And they're trying to charge them with murder 2 months later. And I believe that if they are charged and they do go down, it is a miscarriage of justice, because everything, all the evidence shows us that Ahmaud Arbery was wrong and that the two men were right. Ahmaud Arbery was seen trespassing. He was seen multiple times trespassing. He was acting shady. He was running. He wasn't jogging. He was committing a crime. Now, I'm not saying that what happened here was not a tragedy, because it was. What I am saying is that Ahmaud Arbery was not a jogger and he was not innocent. But that's merely the obvious. Well, that's all for now, folks. What do you think about this story and this compelling case? And please, if you enjoyed this video, you enjoyed this analysis of this case, share the video with other people. I would like more people to see it so more people can discuss it. I'm really worried that we're going to see the media completely lie about this event like they lie about so much. But here's the truth, all right in front of you. Let me know what you think. Now, as always, if you like the work I do and want to support the content, you can join me on Patreon or Subscribestar for as low as $1. Joining will give you access to a private Discord server. Links are down below in the description. And if you want to donate, there's Donor Box and Bitcoin. Now, as always, thanks for watching. This has been Mr. Obvious, and I'll see you all next time.